I had a conversation with Leon when I met him for the first time in 2019. He came to see Bonang and I because we were trying to find a way of how we amend the Electricity Regulation Act in this country to allow for private sector participation, to allow for what we have in the country at the moment, where we have the rooftop solar panels, where we have private sector who is actually participating in the generation of electricity. In our meeting, Leon says, we don't need an overhaul of the Act. All we need is the insertion of one word in the Act to allow for private sector participation. He says the word that we need to insert is not. So once we've inserted the word not, that clause, whatever clause it was, I forget, would read, the state is not the sole generator of electricity in this country. I think that simplicity was very profound for me. It was very striking. It stayed with me. What Leon offers in this book is precisely that elegant simplicity, 250 pages of solutions. And what you have in this book is really a set of reforms, set of proposals of what we need to do to change this country around. The importance of reforms for me is actually very simple. Reforms are a way of de-risking the economy from politics. By implementing reforms, we are making sure that our economy is protected from the political volatility. Simple example, energy. The reason we have energy security in the country today, the reason we have ended structural load shedding, is because we managed to implement the necessary reforms in energy to allow for private sector participation, to do exactly what Leon was proposing in 2019, to ensure that the state is not the sole generator of electricity in this country. Through that reform, you're sitting in a totally different country from an energy security perspective. So if we were to have a state capture 2.0 as a country, we would be better off from an economic perspective precisely because we have implemented certain reforms. You are going to have a government that presides over a country with less state dominance. So if they decided to loot Eskom blue or gray or red, if they decided to loot Eskom again, at least we know that the generation of electricity in this country is no longer dependent on Eskom. You have private sector generating electricity. Transport and logistics is the same thing. We have now introduced private sector participation in Transnet, or rather in transport logistics. If they decide to loot Transnet again, then we know that our economy is not going to be fundamentally undermined. Because even if the state can't do transport logistics, then you are going to have the private sector making sure that imports and exports function as they should. That is the importance of reforms. That is what this book offers. It offers solutions about what we need to do as a country to ensure that our economic well-being is not compromised. So Leon, well done. Thank you for this set of initiatives. This book, if we were to even implement half of the suggestions that are contained here, we will be sitting in a fundamentally different country. It has been an absolute honor to write the foreword for this book. You need to get a copy. It is a very compelling and a very important read. Thank you very much for coming out, ladies and gentlemen.